Hey, Axel here. In this video, we're going to be talking about IMDb Pro in 2019. I'm going to cover the main features, controlling your profile, adding your headshot, and also having access to some of the key information that you get with a Pro subscription. Whether you're an actor or a crew member, you're probably wondering whether the Pro subscription is worth it or not. You know, you're starting out or maybe you're moving up in your career and you want to know, is this worth it? Do people really use it in Hollywood? Is this going to help me with my career? Is it just like bragging or can it really help me move up, you know? I'll be answering all of those questions in this video. By the end, you'll be ready to make a decision whether you're going to buy the Pro subscription or if you should wait a little bit longer. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and allows me to keep making more videos. When I first got my IMDb Pro account, I was totally broke. It was my last semester in college. I had produced a few shorts and I've directed a few things here and there, but there wasn't really a way to show it off. Yeah, I had a website, but people are not just going out and looking for your website. It doesn't feel the same as seeing your name on IMDb. And that's one of the first reasons why I thought, man, I really need to get this, you know, I really need to get my profile. If you Google your name, I would love to see what comes up first. I mean, go and try it. Google my name, you will see the first thing that comes up is my IMDb. I was like, yes, this is totally worth it. If people Google my name, I want them to see something that makes me look legit. So number one, I would look at credibility. A lot of people are gonna look up your name, and if you're not on IMDb, it's like, are you really doing it, you know? There's lots of people who have done a lot of projects, but if you don't see them on IMDb, it doesn't have the same weight. Bragging rights for some people, it's kind of important. Oh, my IMDb is full of credits, you can go and check it out. I don't really care too much about that, but there is like a social unspoken thing that if you're a professional in the entertainment business, we're gonna look at your IMDb and that's gonna tell us, are you really working on real projects or are you just like an amateur, like someone just getting started? And I remember when I was in film school and we made this short and I showed my friends that we had like an IMDb page for the little short film that we had made, everyone just freaked out. It's like we are legit now. My number 2 point is control. You get to control your name, control your profile, control your credits. What things are you showing up on? If you put all this work into working in some projects, especially when you're starting out, if you don't have a way to organize them and show specifically what your role was and what type of productions you have been involved with, you're kind of missing out, especially if you're an actor. For me as a producer, if I'm thinking even about an actor and I go and look them up and I don't see a picture, it's like, why? Like you're missing out on a huge opportunity. You spend all of this money going to classes, getting headshots, doing like small little projects, but then you don't put yourself in the website for movies, you know? Like I think it's a no-brainer that if you're an actor, definitely you need to get a profile right away. Another part of the control is that IMDb can be really tricky to update. I don't know why the website can be complicated sometimes. I have tried to add actors and crew members to the projects that I've worked on, and it's been so tricky when they don't have their profile correctly that I end up having to text them or call them on email and waiting hours to get everything updated. You're kind of losing out on the chance that your credits will show up correctly because we're busy and we have other things that we have to deal with. Especially when you're starting out and you're like an assistant or something like that, we're not going to care. Like, honestly, I mean, I care, but there's so many people that are not going to care. They're just gonna move on, and if they have like the key people and the main cast on, that's good for them. They'll just move on and they'll forget about you. Point number 3 is your headshot. Hollywood is an industry built around images. Literally, that's what we do. And the way you look in front of other people has a huge impact. So you're putting all of this work, working on your career, trying to move up. And then when I look up your name, I just get like a, you know, that little gray person. I mean, why? Get a decent headshot and make sure, not decent, like get an amazing headshot. You only have like 1 second to make a good impression. If someone is looking up your name, you want them to see like a great picture of you that lets them know, hey, this guy is professional, this guy is ready to like be a cool person to be around, and that makes me want to work with this person. Even for people who work behind the camera, This is really important. It puts a face to the name. It shows me that you took care of adding a good picture, and also you get a chance to add behind the scenes pictures. So for example, if you're a cinematographer and I can see some behind the scenes pictures of you working in a professional set with like a good equipment. Now, if you're a big famous production designer and you don't care about that, okay, that's right. You're probably not watching this video. If you're watching this video and you're considering getting the IMDb Pro account, it's probably because you're starting out or you have been doing work for a while and you want to get better and like get more connected with other people. Definitely you need to have your picture up there. The other point is your reel. If you're an actor or a cinematographer or a production designer, you can put your video up there. And yes, you can put that on YouTube, put it on your website, send that to someone, but it's a lot easier. Like if I'm looking for production designers in LA and I see your name, you have a great picture, I go in, see that you have some good credits and I go see your reel, it's all right in there. It makes it so much easier. Number 4 is the research. And this is my favorite feature by far. This is actually why I'm okay paying the subscription for IMDb Pro. If you work in the entertainment business, you kind of have to prove yourself from project to project, you know, and that can be really hard. But more important than that, you are going to be jumping from company to company, from project to project, always working with different people. And you never know if the person that you're about to get into a project with, are they legitimate? Do they have a good reputation? Who else have they worked with? What other people you might have in common with them? That's another nice little feature that they have in there. You can see like your shared network. So for example, if I work on a movie and then you work on a movie and the cinematographer was on both films, we're gonna have that person in common. So you can see that and you can see, oh, maybe this person can make an introduction for me to meet this other person. You could save yourself from so many headaches by doing your research and making sure that the people you're working with are legit. You also have access to contact information that people put on their professional profile. So for example, I get a couple of emails every other week from composers and production designers and people who see the projects that I have listed in development and they want to be part of that. I might not hire them just from a cold email, but you know how many times I go and see their profile, see their credits, and then I go and check their portfolio. And there are a couple of composers from Spain that have sent me their information, and I've gone on their YouTube channel just to check the music that they have made. Recently, there was this company that reached out to me to maybe work on some projects, and I went on their website and I checked out some of the projects they had, and I saw some people listed there. I looked them up on IMDb and I sent them an email. Hey, have you worked with this person? What was the relationship like? You know, that is very important. And yes, it's a little bit expensive, but you're paying for that information and for being able to know, okay, this person is connected to this company. And you kind of start putting the lines together where you see that all of these projects have these companies or these people in common. And you can also find ways to get connected to those people. Feature number 5 is tracking. There's a new feature that IMDb added recently where you can track someone, and IMDb will set up an alert every time that person is added to a new project or there's a news article about them. For example, I will work on a project with an actor. I always make sure that I track them. In the future, if they get attached to another project or there's an article about one of their films, I get that alert right away and I can send them a quick text. Hey, congrats on getting that gig. Hey, how's it going? I read that you guys are promoting this film that you did last year. How is that going? Being able to keep relationships with people in this industry is like so important. You have no idea where the next project is gonna come from, but usually it's from your network, from those people who have worked with you and they're invested in you being also successful. So whenever they get something new, call them, reach out to them, make sure you always stay in touch because you never know what could happen. The best projects are the ones where you get to work with people that you have worked with in the past and it's like, oh man, 2 years and we're still connected. We still talk every now and then. It's very important to stay connected to the people in your network. You shouldn't be trying to go out there and go to all these networking events and meet hundreds of new people that you never talk to again. Make sure you work hard on the connections that you have right now. Sometimes we go out trying to find new people instead of nurturing the relationships that we have with the people that we already know and trust. Now, let's talk about the price. I think for me, if you're serious about this industry and this business, it's totally worth it. At least for 1 year, you have to get it and try it out. Maybe you can cancel it later. But if you're not using this tool, I think you're totally missing out. And even when you're starting out and you're totally broke, like I was when I got it, I think it puts that commitment that if you really want this, you should go and figure out a way to make that $150 and pay for it. And trust me, only by getting one project, you're gonna pay that back. Now, can it help you move up in your career? One of those things that it will give you a little bit of an edge. If you know the information, you know the people, you know the projects they have worked in the past, you know the projects that they have in development in the future, I think that makes you better equipped to go out there and kill it. Now, do people really use it in Hollywood? In my experience, yes, they do. A lot. We look people up, we find their credits, and people are always trying to find that little bit of information that can help them with the projects. The nature of Hollywood is that we jump from project to project, and you will start working with a whole different crew every time. Now, do you really need it if you're just starting out? If you're an actor, yes, definitely get it. If you're a crew member, I would wait until you have 2, maybe 3 projects, if they're small projects. Even if they're short films that you did in film school or that you did in high school with your friends, by getting the pro account, once you have those 2 or 3 little films, you can create pages for those and then add the credits for you and for your friends. Now, if you have worked on one big studio project, get it, because that is probably going to help you whenever you apply for a position in the future. You can show, oh, I worked on this movie or I worked on this big TV show. That has a lot more weight than like 5 different short films. So if you watch the whole video, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. It really helps to be able to make more videos like this. I'm also thinking about making a tutorial video on IMDb, how to go in, create a page, create a profile. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be filming that video in the next few days. If you get your IMDb Pro account, make sure that you hit that track on me and send me a message. I'll probably track you too. That's it. My name is Axel and I'll see you in another video.